Hello, this is Dr. Carrie with my dear friend and colleague Shannon McCall, and we're here today to talk about each other's work and see how we support each other and how there's an intersection between Ayurveda and yoga and Equestrian Sport Psychology. The original overlap that I know of is mindfulness, so we'll see how that threads its way through. So, what is Ayurveda?
You know that Ayurveda is like the sister science. We use the word science kind of in quotation marks because it's not a science in the sense that we think of modern science, but like a body of knowledge that is quite old, that evolved along the same times that yoga was evolving in India and has evolved over thousands of years as a way for people to take care of themselves through diet, through lifestyle, and through herbal medicine. So what I do is help people with the diet and lifestyle part and help them live in balance with the seasons and figure out when to go to sleep, how to eat, and basically how to take care of themselves.
And what are some of the biggest challenges that you find when you're helping people figure this out?
Well, it's often a process of learning, and making change gets to be more challenging the older we get, and maybe we've tried some things before that haven't really worked for us, and it gets confusing always hearing about new ideas about what we should be eating and how much we should be exercising, and coffee is good or it's not good. Things are always changing.
Right.
So it's really, Ayurveda is really great for people that are ready to take another look at themselves and really, through these ancient teachings, it's not a one-size-fits-all situation at all. It's really about understanding your unique body constitution and then how to apply these different principles. They're the same for everybody, but they differ based on your particular situation. So challenges are just like any challenge when you're trying to learn some new habits or try some new things. It's like it's a little bit uncomfortable at first, but we try to take it slowly, one step at a time, and people usually start feeling better right away just by not snacking, for instance, or getting to bed earlier. So little things start to make people feel better, and then they're more motivated to keep it up.
So, do you work with athletes much? I mean, obviously, your yogis must be athletes to a degree.
Yeah, I do. I work with, there's several people that come to class that are, more serious runners. I have some marathoners, people like that, people that hike a lot or bike a lot through Seattle. So, yeah, they're fairly athletic. Or people that have been athletes in the past that are kind of winding down that part of their life.
Athletes in recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because many of my clients are athletes. And, obviously the equestrian sport psychology is a big piece of what I do. And I find that when you said earlier, you said something about not snacking. And while I understand the philosophy behind that, I also find with my athletes when they're in a competition day that it's really hard to eat a meal and have time to digest that meal.
Yes.
And or they eat a meal, they digest the meal, they burn off the calories, and they're ready to go compete again or get on another horse, and they need fuel. So what do you say about that kind of situation?
Well, again, it really depends on the individual. And so if we're dealing with somebody with a specific amount of training that they're doing, Ayurveda is not no snacks ever. Some constitutions need snacks. Some levels of output, you're going to need more fuel. And you just have to work with the situation. So it's, it would really be taking everything into account.
I get it.
That you're describing. Yeah.
So how would a person who is considering getting some Ayurvedic consultation find out about their body types and start to kind of explore the field? What would be a great way to start?
There's a lot of great books, and there's some good websites. I'm a big fan of Dr. Claudia Welch's book. It's called Balance Your Hormones, Balance Your Life. And it's a great book for men and women, especially good for women, to just help understand what an Ayurvedic lifestyle looks like, why you might be motivated to do that given your stress levels and trying to get back into balance. So there's lots of great books. Robert Svoboda wrote a book called Prakruti, which kind of takes people through step-by-step understanding their constitution. But those are really best in conjunction with, working with somebody, letting your practitioner feel your pulse and really get more of a feel for your situation. You can do quite a bit on your own, and then it's good to get that supported by working with a real practitioner.
And does the practitioner need to be in your geographic region, or can you work in a distance way?
Yeah, you can. I work remotely with people, so it's definitely possible to do that work via Skype, and it's great if you can have an initial meeting, because we do a whole facial analysis and we look at skin and everything. But there's quite a bit you can do over Skype that makes that not completely necessary. So, and certainly once you've seen a practitioner in person, you can do a lot, keep the relationship going through the phone or Skype.
So if I were to have like a clinic and have you come, you could do initial sessions with people, and then they could have remote relationships with you, and that would be the richest, probably.
Yeah. And what I'm finding is that it really works in a process and relationship over time. So I used to work with people just once or twice for an initial consult and follow up, and I found that really it takes usually sometime between like 6 weeks and 6 months of ongoing support to really get some of these habits established. And then to see what the trouble spots are for each person to help them get through to make the changes they're wanting.
So you ask your clients to make a time commitment instead of just saying, let's find out a few things.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it. We sort of see what the level of disharmony is and what the person's, goals are. And given that, we kind of come up with a program that might work for that person.
That makes really good sense.
Yeah.
Do you have to be a yogi to practice Ayurveda?
You don't have to be a yogi to practice Ayurveda, but yoga is part of Ayurveda. Ayurveda means the science of life, or it's a teaching about all of life and how to come into harmony with your life, your physical body, your heart, your soul, so that when you're feeling good, you can really fulfill your life.
Right.
And yoga is part of that. So we teach very gentle yoga routines. So everybody's got a little bit of a morning practice or an evening practice, and yoga is part of it, definitely. But you don't have to be able to do a handstand, or you don't have to do hot yoga or power yoga. It's nothing like that. It's really getting back to the tradition, making the yoga really fit the person and their needs and their ambitions, their time of life, and all of that.
Right.
Very personalized.
I really, really encourage my equestrian athlete clients, as well as all of my clients, to do some sort of yoga because of how it embodies and grounds us in our body. And there's so much.
I can't imagine my life without yoga. I mean, it's just, it's all about just keeping the body moving and lubricated and staying really in a state of flow, because all of our diseases of old age have to do with stiffening and drying and kind of freezing. And so we really want to keep moving in gentle ways, in ways that are appropriate to our situation always.
Have you ever ridden a horse?
I've ridden a horse just a couple of times. I enjoyed it a lot, but not.
Were you young, or was it in recent?
Yes, no, I think my last horse ride was sometime in my 20s, so it's been quite a long time.
Do you have any recollection what it made your body feel like afterwards, or were you too young to notice?
Yeah, oh no, I think I was never one of those girls that was just in love with horses, but of course I liked horses, and each time I rode, it was always just a very incredible experience to get on such a big animal and to Yeah, no, I loved it. My body felt sore.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's
Yeah.
really hard on the body. Even a seasoned rider who does it every day and sometimes multiple times a day, it's a lot of jarring, concussion, and you really need a specific kind of strength and flexibility to sustain it.
Yeah, I would imagine a lot of working with leg support, having enough support in the pelvis and legs, right? And postural support to be able to sit up and yeah,
core strength essential.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And not only is it good for the human, but I think it really supports the horse to feel like there's a strong being on top of them, so they're not just a stack of potatoes.
Yeah, that makes good sense.
Yeah, I would love to sometime have you come and see the riders ride, and then help me design yoga for them.
That would be fantastic. I would love to do that.
We have to really do that sometime soon, because it's really like I do my own little thing, but I don't have the depth of knowledge that you do of really how to create that strength and flexibility. And it's really the pelvis. You're right. That's the basis. That's the connection point.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I like that idea. It's fun to come up with ideas. So Shannon and I do a retreat in October
12th through the 16th. And this is where Carrie and I really found a mutual love of creative process. So Carrie is coming back to your work as a creative process person, as an artist. Yeah.
An art therapist.
Art therapist, and bringing that together with the yoga and Ayurveda, so it's a very rich time of self-discovery and learning the practices that we can take home into our lives, and discovering things through the art process. We had so much fun last year doing that.
It was amazing. I've learned so much about meditation from you over the years of studying at yoga camp and just our ongoing conversations. And a lot of my clients are beginning meditators and really learning that mindfulness, having a mindfulness practice of sorts that fits their individual needs, changes everything about how their riding goes. So I'm just curious, when you work with beginning meditators, what are some of the things that you tell them?
Oh, that's a great question. I think one of the most important things is that it doesn't have to be a long time. If you can just get your 5 or 10 minute daily practice going, you'll see that even 1 minute, 5 full minutes of meditation or 10 full minutes changes your life. And it just really does. I notice that all the time with myself. Anytime I veer away and a lot of movement and not as much meditation, when I give myself even just an hour, some amount, but I'm not saying an hour, but just the first few minutes of getting back into meditation is always such a reminder of how important it is. Not just how important it is, but also how, just a little bit.
Right. A little bit goes a long way, right? And also that you practice, not how much you practice. It's the consistency of the practice.
Yeah, I agree. It's the consistency and taking off just that amount that you can really commit to. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, getting it in as part of your daily life, making a commitment. Okay, 5 days a week, before 9 a.m., I'm going to sit for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. And that really is helpful. Yeah.
And do you find that oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, just because we need that time to really process, everything that we've taken in throughout the day. We take in so many impressions, every second.
Absolutely.
And take some time and let that kind of sift through us. It creates this disharmony, we don't feel well. We get clogged up in the subtle channels.
So to you, it sounds like meditation really offers that time to process and integrate that which we can't even really put our finger on or name, just all the energies.
That's right. And we don't really need to put our finger on it and name anything. It's really a time when the mind just does its work. It's like a self-cleaning oven, It's like a self kind of process, I think, for our minds.
Yeah. And what do you, for beginning meditators, do you recommend like a Vipassana style where you just follow your breath going in and out of your nostrils, or what's your first go-to?
Yeah, Yeah, I either go to the breath or some kind of a mantra. So, you're picking a focal point, sticking with the one focal point, and just being with the breath. Could be at your nostrils, could be down in your belly, or doing the mantra with the breath, doing the so-hum mantra, which means just I am. So on the inhale, hum on the exhale. Just keep going back to the sound.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Some people need more than just the breath. They need a mantra. They need something a little bit more to focus on.
Mm-hmm. That makes really good sense. Wow. I want to invite the equestrian athletes that might be listening to this to explore the so-hum, because I am is exactly where your horse is every second of every day. They're not thinking about what's to come or what happened. They just are in every moment. So there are great meditation teachers, and they stand there and they breathe deeply into their diaphragm every moment that they can, partly because they are prey in the wild. And so they're constantly filling their muscles with oxygen, so in case they have to run, they're prepared. So, this is kind of what we as athletes need to do when we're preparing to go out and, really going out and doing a jumper or a hunter or an equitation round in the show ring is very much like being chased by prey, although we're doing it rhythmically. There's a very heightened attention. It's all task orientation. And so using so-hum or a breath, following one's breath and being present will give you an amazing shift. And I'm curious to hear what that shift is for people. I know for me the shift is the capacity to stay with the moment rather than to start thinking about how I want things to become. But that's just me.
Staying in the body is really important, isn't it?
Yeah. Every day, all day.
Yeah.
It's really challenging. Well, Shannon, I feel like I could go on and on, but I want to keep this concise for our viewers. So perhaps we could have another conversation when you return from retreat in a week or so, and we can keep this flowing, because I have a lot of questions about figuring out body types, understanding what to do next, and kind of if one is on a self-guided path, how to figure that out, and also how to choose yoga. A lot of people struggle with that. They don't find the right teacher. So I have lots more questions for you.
All right. Well, I'd love to continue this conversation in another time.
Excellent.
Great. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Thanks for being with me. Shannon McCall in Seattle, yogini, Ayurveda practitioner extraordinaire. And this is Dr. Carrie signing out.